Hey guys, I'm about to drive out and go to work. I work at a rehab hospital, and I was going to make this video when I have free time, but it looks like I have no free time, because I've been extremely busy this summer with working at the hospital. Summer classes 4 days a week, online clients, and then my off-season training. So I've been pretty darn busy and stacked, and I've been trying to refrain from social media like Facebook. So let's get to the topic today. What is the best way to build muscle and gain strength? The following advice is going to apply mainly to naturals, but it can also apply to you if you're enhanced, and which both cases is going to work great. And before any of you say that, oh, Jeffrey, who are you to talk? You're pretty small yourself and you don't have any visible muscle. Well, that's actually not too true, because if you ever see me in real life, you know that I'm not the biggest, but I'm definitely not small. I'm gonna post some pictures right now of me next to IFBB pros like Johnny Jackson, Hiritara Yamagishi, and even next to guys like Marc Lobliner. Now granted, I'm a little fatter than they are, but still, as you can see, I'm not a small guy. By the way, to my parents watching this video right now, I'm not holding the camera. The camera is sitting on the dashboard while my both hands are focused on driving, so you don't need to worry there. Now, where was I? Right, building muscle. So what is the principle that has allowed me in a matter of 6 to 12 months to get bigger and stronger than so many of my friends and people I know? IFBB pros like Steve Kuglo have told me that I've gotten bigger. Like, hey man, what have you been doing? It's working. So so this is what I'm going to tell you today, and it's a very basic concept known to a lot of powerlifters. Some of you guys are going to say, duh, of course, but this might be a revolutionary concept for some of you guys. All right, the principle here is, are you ready? Write stuff down and stick to a plan. I'll let that sink in for a second. Now, I know there's some people like a friend I have who don't really like to write stuff down. They don't like to follow programs. They just like to do their own thing. And I understand, because I used to be that same way. I used to think, oh, you're such a nerd, bringing papers to the gym and like reading and like writing how much weight you did and everything. That's just so nerdy. You should be able to memorize that yourself. Well, that's actually very ineffective, and the optimal way to progress in terms of strength or size is to have an intelligent structured program that's based on science, and then follow through with it by tracking your progress. For example, starting strength 5x5. You're writing down the weights you use every single workout. You're trying to beat the weights by increasing by 5 pounds, a concept known as micro-loading, every single workout. If you're in bodybuilding, you wanted to write down, for example, you did bench press 225 for 8 reps. Write that down. The next time you do your chest day, you want to try to beat that. You want to get 225 for 9 reps. You write that down. If you don't beat it the following week, that's okay. You just write it down again, and then you try to get 225 for 10 reps the following week. You will progress so much faster than people who don't track their progress. Currently right now I'm doing a 5-3-1, and it is a slower program based on progression, but it is a fixed program. And hold on a second, gotta let these cars pass, don't want to get in a collision. I'm at a stoplight right now, so don't worry guys, I'm practicing safe driving. Asian driver. Oh boy. Anyways, almost there. Don't want to crash. Crap. Yes. Okay. So where was I? Oh my god, the camera's moving. I'm so sorry. There we go. 5-3-1. What I'm currently doing right now is actually just following 531, which is, you know, a powerlifting program per se. But I'm incorporating bodybuilding and strongman accessories, and that's another thing about if you want to build muscle and gain strength, you have to be a little bit more varied with the training. Yes, stick to a structured program, but then you can have the flexibility to include whatever you want to do. You know, you want to do this accessory work, that's fine. You know, use your own body to dictate what is pushing it and exceeding the limits of your central nervous system. And you don't want to, I'm going to say this word, overtrain. Yes, that word exists. I know a lot of hardcore bodybuilding enthusiasts nowadays say there's no such thing as overtraining, but you guys need to take a basic college kinesiology course or read Marc Starting Strength, one or the other, and learn what the real definition of overtraining is. Overtraining is a medical condition that happens mostly in competitive athletes, not your average gym goer, and it happens when the rate of adaptation fails to keep up with the stressors imposed on your body. And you just can't grow. You're in a constant state of decline. You're in a state of regression. And that can severely impact your health. You can get stuff like lower decreased immune system, weakened immune system. There's my grammar for you. You can get stuff like depression, lower testosterone levels, increased cortisol levels. No good stuff. Wow, my grammar really sucks. Not good stuff. Anyways, wow, I've rambled long enough. You can tell I have ADHD, don't you? Basically just record your progress. Don't skimp out on bringing your program, whatever it is, whether it be Mad Cow 5x5, Bill Starr Intermediate 5x5, Lane Norton's Fat for bodybuilding, and whether it be, you know, Jim Wendler's or Jim Sapani does a good job at making you track your weights as well in the bodybuilding world. You know, a lot of strongmen are really strong, but they have a bad habit of, you know, just doing whatever they feel like it and not tracking their progress. And if they were just to write down that they squatted that 225 stone for 10 reps and then they're planning to beat it the next time they squat that stone, then even they would get stronger. Alright, I think that's the end of the video. Talk to you guys later, and I will drive safely to work. Bye bye.